Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for November 2022. This is a general reading, so if the message does not resonate here, please check your Moon and Rising sign video readings. Also, in order to gain any insight into your own situation, requires a personal reading. Excuse me, in case you haven't heard, the website will be going offline on October 31st. And so I'm going to ask that you please don't book any readings through the website and don't purchase any memberships, because after the 31st, it's going to be going away temporarily. I don't know when I'll be bringing it back online. Therefore, if you want to book a personal reading, simply go to the About Box section of my channel. There you will find my reading packages with the prices, and then you should see my email address. And basically, if you want a reading, you just email me and tell me what reading package that you want, and then we'll go from there, okay? So I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have the Levita Sibila, and I also have the Golden Nostradamus oracle cards. So I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. And I'm going to do one more shuffle and one more rifle, and we're going to lay 9 cards, okay? And then get started with the reading. Here's the shuffle. I can't believe that we are already in November. 2022 is about to be history. I don't know if I'm going to be glad this is leaving or sad that 2022 is leaving. I don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see, right? All right, here we go. Let's cut the cards. The Death card. Right off the bat, a major change coming, okay? The Two of Pentacles. The Ten of Wands. Next row, the Sun card. Oh, that's not too bad. The Three of Cups. The Knight of Cups. The Reverse Magician. Well. The Five of Swords. And finally, the Six of Swords. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I only have one court card here. I have all back here on this row 3 major arcana. I have 2 swords, 2 cups, a pentacle, and a wand. I do not have any repeater numbers. Okay. What is the energy over the entire reading for the month of November? It is the Six of Wands. Well, not bad. Right in the center, I have this Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups, everything else is kind of happening around this. And we do see on this particular past, present, future interplay of the cards. There's a lot of movement in this particular spread. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 horses, some ships, and a boat. So there's a lot of movement here. Someone walking. So there's a lot of movement here. So in the center, I have the Three of Cups. First, it's a 3. And 3s say that, you know, there may be some delay before future successes can be realized. It may even be that there are 3 people involved. But 3s say that you struck out with the ace, and an opportunity presented itself, or you created an opportunity. Then the Two of Cups comes along, which says that you found some kind of balance and made a choice or a decision to move forward. And then the 3, that's the third thing. That's the new element. 2 things coming together to make a third thing. Now, most people will just interpret the cups as love or romance, but to me, they simply mean emotions. That's all it speaks about. Feeling emotional about something, or being attached to something or someone emotionally. feeling some kind of way. And then, so the Three of Pentacles represents the idea of some type of universal gathering, people coming together to celebrate something. So this could be a baby shower, a wedding, what do you call it? Bridal shower, or a stag party, or, you know, a christening or a birthday. So it can usually mean some type of universal gathering in which people get together to have a good time and celebrate something positive that happens. So that's what's in the center. However, here at the top, we start out with the Death card. And the Death card comes in to usher in a new change. All right? The end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. And for some of you, this new cycle may be getting off to a kind of a rough start. We see it starts with the Two of Pentacles here at the top. And the Two of Pentacles, again, we're talking about a choice. This is what the two represents. It represents choices, options, decisions, dualities, oppositions, crossroads. So we know that when a new cycle starts, we're starting something new, or we're beginning a new cycle, there are decisions to be made. So this card can be the idea that maybe you might you might be working two jobs at one time now, right? You got into a place where now everything's so expensive, you know, a new phase starts. Maybe you have to work two jobs. It talks about juggling your finances. It talks about handling two separate situations at one time. But also it says that you have the ability to do this and do it quite well. There is implied movement in the Two of Pentacles. So sometimes this can be a change of address, or a relocation, a move of some type, maybe even travel. But we see that it's a heavy lift. Okay? This Ten of Wands, it is a 10, and 10 says that, and you know, I kind of like the fact that it's a 10. It's not as though you're coming up through the other wands. You're already at a 10. So to me, it says that whatever the heavy lifting is, it's going to come quickly, and that you'll be able to deal with it. All right. But it also says to me that you may be trying to do too much at one time, and you are taking responsibilities or duties away from other people who should be doing their part, right? And that when you do that, when you take on too much, or you take other people's duties and responsibilities, you rob them of the opportunity to learn about the laws of karma, cause and effect. Okay? So sometimes to me, this card says you just got a lot of irons in the fire. So my suggestion would be to put some of them down or split it in half, because the next card is an ace. Okay? So this tells me you're going to overcome this particular energy in quite quickly. Here we have the Sun, one of the most positive cards in the major arcana. The Sun represents growth, abundance, happiness, fertility, positivity, happiness, but it also comes to highlight something. The Sun is about the masculine principle, but it also comes to show us something, okay? And I don't know, there's this banner here, and this banner, I don't know if you can see this, lines up with the magician's red robe. I feel that this magician reversed is a person who may be coming to light, who may light, maybe they will present themselves to you. That's what this is. Now, the Knight of Cups is just that, it's a knight. But to me, it doesn't necessarily represent a person. It always, knights represent messages and news. It is a more fulsome message than the Page of Cups, but it also represents an event. And what I mean by that is news will come in to move the situation along. Remember, I'm talking about the horses and the movement here. So some kind of news comes in. Here, there's an announcement. It's something to celebrate. Then finally the message comes in. But there's something about it it hasn't quite made it over. That horse hasn't crossed the stream yet, so it's kind of it's like a tease. The promise of good news, or the news holds a promise of something lovely and wonderful. You know, promises, but that you think may be coming or might be whispered, but the words were never really said to begin with. Okay. The Knight of Cups is somebody who can come along and make you feel wonderful and dreamy and great, but there's never a commitment. There's never anything solid that you can actually sink your teeth into. And this is attached to this reversed Magician. And so I want you, this is the card I'm going to be looking at here. Because what we see with the reversed Magician is after his appearance, there are arguments and fights. Now, this card, the Five of Swords, is typically a card of victory. Okay, and it says that you, and maybe if you've had a dispute with two other people, you won that particular fight. They've given up. They've thrown their swords down. But what are swords but thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communications? Words, thoughts, concepts. Okay, so there's a disagreement here of some sort, and it is a 5, and 5s represent times of ups and downs and upheaval, tense, terse energy. But it's a changing energy. As we can see, it immediately changes to a 6. Okay. And so this card says that if you have to stand up for yourself in a dispute, then do so. But then you don't want to spend all your time arguing and trying to one-up the other person, because both of you will end up sinking to a level so low that neither one of you will win. Okay? I also feel that there's a bit of hesitancy here about whether or not you should have either said something or not. The 2 swords over the shoulders, and then the 1 put down. Those are really 3 swords that you're carrying. So there's some disappointment and some anger and bitterness perhaps lurking in this particular conflict, as it were. But again, we see the 6 of Swords comes to move you away from that situation. And this is all, in a sense, kind of mental energy. So this is about moving from rougher waters to calmer waters. But it is also the idea that wherever you go, you take your thoughts with you. And it can be an indication of a separation or a severance of ties of some kind. But it could also be a move or traveling around water, by water, near water. But literally, either literally moving away from something or someone, or metaphorically moving away from something or someone. Okay? So since I can't take a look at this particular card, because traditionally he represents a person, I'm going to be able to look at the 2 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, as they relate to these 3 major arcana cards. Now, the overall energy of the month of November is the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands is a victory card. Before it was a 6, it was a 5. So maybe there was some competition. Maybe there were other arguments. Maybe there was a clash of wills with someone. Okay, that comes to an end. And the 6 of Wands says that you may receive some accolades. You may receive the recognition due to you. Finally, it may be a promotion or a bonus or reward. Your name may be in the paper. It talks about the idea of being a leader and just kind of forging ahead, or at least being able to get those people who were fighting in the 5 of Wands to come along with you. Okay, so that's pretty good. But if you'll notice, the 3 horses and the boats and the person are all walking into the future direction. So directionality is very, very important in the tarot. So everybody's headed towards the future. So in a sense, what this tells me is that this will be coming up. This is in the future row. Okay, this will be coming up maybe near the end of November. Okay, maybe into December. For some of you, depending on where you are in the situation, it may have already started, and this may be you moving into the beginning of November. This row, again, this heavy lift, but again, you're going to get some kind of news, or at least you're going to get the message that all is not what it seems to be, and you can move away from this. And the reason why I say all is not what it seems to be is this reverse Magician. So first, let me see what other information I can gather from these cards as they relate to these. And then I'm going to give you the meaning of the reverse Magician. And then we're going to pull Sabila's on him, okay? So we're going to start with the 2 of Pentacles. And typically, whenever the death card shows up at the beginning of a reading, it says that whatever the changes are, they're about to start. Okay? Just so you know. What am I looking at? Two of Pentacles. So let's see here. With any 5 before or after the 2. And we have a 5 down here. It implies that your energies are being scattered, leading to undue stress and confusion. Now, this could be a representation of that as well. It tells you to slow down, relax, and think carefully about each step you take at this time. Allow things to flow as they will and have faith. So sometimes a reverse magician can be about that, scattered energies. But I really sense that this is a person, is what I sense. Okay? 10 of Wands. Nothing about the 10 of Wands. 3 of Cups. With the Death card. Indicates the ending of things with new beginnings to start. It tells of a complete change in lifestyle and or career, which will bring new people, situations, and circumstances into your life. It tells of starting over in a positive and beneficial way. It indicates a change of lifestyle or work and or career with new faces and new places ahead. This is the 3 of Cups with the Death card. And as you can see with the interplay of the cards, we see that you do. You just kind of move away. Okay? So there's that. 5 of Swords. That's what I say. People are so freaked out when they see the Death card, the Devil, and the Tower card, and they don't always mean negative things. Death is always looked at as a transition. Although now with the war happening and, you know, with COVID, sometimes the Death card was just that. It was a death. Someone passed away. But it's never supposed to be interpreted in that manner. Because even the death of those people is a transition for them, right? Okay, so 5 of Swords. Now here's one with the Magician. And I want you to pay close attention. Appearing next to the Magician, the 5 of Swords indicates possible misuse and abuse of abilities, skills, and talents. This may be caused by overconfidence. It also indicates that some reconsideration needs to be put into recent plans, as there are some aspects that have been overlooked. It asks you to reconsider some decisions you have made of late, as there is a need for adjustments here and there. If you are hesitant to begin, it is advisable to wait until the timing is more auspicious. Isn't that interesting? The 6 of Swords. With any 10 before or after. So here we have a 10. And all 10s, no matter what cards they are, whether they are the 10s relating to the suit cards or even the aces, all of those cards are related to the Magician. They're all, in effect, 1 cards, okay? So, any 10 before or after with the 6 of Swords is an indication of travel, journey, a vacation or holiday, or even a change of residence. It may involve a major decision, which will ultimately lead to movement of some kind. But it is also a message to look carefully at all aspects of a situation, as there may be some hidden traps or pitfalls. Look out for unnecessary expenditures. Well, isn't that something? I want to read to you the Reverse Magician. And I honestly feel that this is a person. Maybe some of it can be you, but it feels the energy really feels more like a person. It says lack of ability, poor communication, unreliability, manipulation, treachery, exploitation, self-deceit, disgrace, lies, misuse of power, and a tricky situation. Appearing reversed, it may be indicating an abuse of power and the use of manipulating words and actions to suit one's own selfish wants and needs. There are hidden truths and possible deceit, so look deeper into a situation. It tells of someone who may be behaving dishonestly and is quite the trickster and manipulator in an important situation. Someone may be exploited by another, or someone is trying to shift the balance of blame. You are warned to remain aware. It may be implying that you yourself are not applying yourself to the job at hand, and you will not receive anything positive unless your attitude is changed. It may be telling of a lack of willpower and motivation. It indicates the inability to turn thought into action at this time. This is due to poor leadership and communication skills, and the lack of experiences and confidence. It also implies that you are unable to cope within a situation and you are allowing obstacles to stop and hinder you. It may be indicating a lack of faith in the self, which allows you to produce or to accept poor workmanship, deceit, or cunning. It may be implying that remaining blind to a situation and clinging to the past is causing you to stagnate, which leaves you feeling drained and lethargic, and with no sense of personal direction. Hence, a cheat or swindler would find you an easy target at this time. So do not sign any documents or commit yourself either by word or deed. Do not part with any money for any schemes for at least the following 4 to 6 weeks. Give yourself time to think with clarity before you take action. It may be telling of a misuse or abuse of power or skill for destructive or negative ends, and a misuse of superior talents. Appearing reversed, it represents egotism, treachery, overconfidence, thereby misleading others into making wrong choices. Now, this ties back to this particular card in some way. Okay? It could be that maybe you got a promotion, but someone is real resentful of that. And what they're going to try to do now is to steer you in the wrong direction and make you look incompetent. Okay? But to me, this energy feels like another person, not you, Virgo. I do sense that there may be a bit of confusion here. I think that it's going to confuse you in the sense that you don't understand why the person is doing what they're doing or what they've said. I've seen this card show up when it's somebody who has a position of power and or authority, but they're wholly unqualified for the job as well. So we're going to look at this card, because whatever is beginning here, it's going to seem highly attractive. Okay? Indeed, some of you may already be celebrating it. Okay? It doesn't mean that necessarily that it's going to turn out really horrible for you. It just means that you know there's something about the situation either you were unaware of, or someone is trying to manipulate the situation for their own ends. I do see that you confront this situation and then you're able to move away from it. All right? Whether literally or metaphorically. The Gran Consolazione. Di sospiri. And the Melancholia. Now I want you to take a look at these cards. The exact same setting. Here the tree is a little bit larger. This person is simply sitting. They're sitting on a box. They're dreaming of all their riches, peace, relationships. And then we see the woman here, but she's got flowers and there's a little cross there on the ground. So the person's mourning something. It is not a person. This is not the card says it could be like a pet. So it's something important, but not a person, okay? And in between these two, we have the Suspiri card. And here's what this is telling me. This person, the reverse magician, had their heart set on whatever this thing is that you've won, or at least feel that they should have received the accolades, the recognition, the rewards. It is about the ability to turn one's dreams into a reality. That's what the Gran Consolazione represents. It is the card of recognition, of fame, of gaining a good reputation and prosperity. It is the light at the end of the tunnel, a blessing that comes as a result of having taken the right actions in the past. But then we see the Sospiri card. And the Sospiri card is the card of tears and anxiety. It is a 6, believe it or not, a 6 of spades, which relates to the 6 of swords. And here, the Sospiri card says, one second, a cause for great anxiety and preoccupation. The card of anxiety and tears. The anxiety is apparently caused by circumstances someone is aware of, while the problem lies elsewhere. The arrow, there's an arrow there at the top. See it? Pointing in this direction. Okay? Now, it indicates the presence of discordant energy, this crooked arrow, whether it be a situation, a person, or someone's inner self that is causing the state of inner unrest. It is the card of desperate desires, unrequited love, troubled relationships, all caused by people who do not know how to love unselfishly. It represents waiting and long delays that are the cause of extreme inner tension. There is uncertainty around someone's fate, or maybe the fate of a person or situation even dear to your heart. This uncertainty, however, is not caused by a past event, but is due to something being projected into the future. This is a card that describes, in essence, the fear of the future due to precarious present conditions. It indicates someone who desperately wants to hope for a better tomorrow, and unrealistic hope may be the only thing they have left to sustain them. More broadly, it can indicate someone who has shed a lot of tears over something, and it casts a pall of anxiety and precariousness over the area inquired about. The card does not necessarily preclude success, but it indicates the need for hard work to make it happen. It also indicates a missed opportunity, or at least one that is being perceived as such, as indicated by the ship having sailed already, leaving the woman behind. This is not a love relationship, I don't feel. In love, it indicates unrequited love or an unrealistic attachment to an idea of how things should be or have been. A turbulent relationship, or even a long-distance relationship. Financially, it points to investments that need more time to bear fruit, and offers to be wary of, a lack of initiative, and missed opportunities. The card points to feelings of inner turmoil caused by confusion and the inability to hear the inner guidance of the soul. Particular importance needs to be paid to the arrow, which indicates that the answer has been sought in the wrong direction. Okay? It can also represent someone who is misguided and who has lost a sense of touch with their life purpose and has strayed away from it. So now we're going to look at the Melancholia. And it just kind of feels as though like maybe you got a promotion or you got the recognition and somebody is very upset by that. They didn't show up as the, as the Il Nemico or the La Nemica, but they have shown up as the magician, the sleight of hand. So there are hidden truths and possible deception. Someone misusing their abilities, their talents, and skills. So be careful. I still say be careful. The card says, in the essence of the card, it indicates a passing disappointment, a black cloud of sadness that will eventually dissipate. It indicates momentary defeat and a lack of success, but that these conditions will not affect you or the person in a traumatic or long-lasting way. It describes someone who was happy, and now that something has changed, they live in a state of guilt, sadness, and nostalgia, pining for what they once had. Often the card will describe someone who did not know how happy they were until they lost their source of happiness. Usually it indicates an attachment to the past and or living in the past. It can indicate haunting memories, nostalgia, regret, and tears over something specific, and a period of dejection that will ultimately pass. Now, let's see. It says to look carefully at the cards to the left, as this represents situations from the past that are still affecting someone. Well, they had their heart set on something, but either they missed it or they were passed over by the opportunity. And they fear that they're never going to be happy again. So it's kind of like a circular thing, because all the cards to the left of this one tell us what the person, why the person may be feeling this way. Okay? So, let's see. I'll read it here. Hold on. This card also indicates having lost someone or something dear to one's heart, not because of their death or loss. Okay. In love, it heralds pangs of conscience over mistakes made in a relationship. It can describe nostalgia and sadness, lamenting over good times in a relationship that are now over. But generally, it indicates sadness, a lack of fulfillment, and a lack of direction. It heralds feelings of loneliness and a period of crisis, and a general lack of motivation. It indicates someone who is in dire need of guidance, of feeling loved and unsupported. Financially, it indicates an unfulfilling job, temporary unemployment, and worrying about money. Okay? And so I would suggest, if this is you, do stop and rethink something. Maybe you missed something. Reassess whatever your plans are. Plans are always meant to be broken or changed. Look over some things. But personally, I feel this is someone else that you will either encounter or will be dealing with. And it's going to come to some words. But this is only because you're going to have to, I think, defend your position. Okay? And then it will kind of blow over. So it's not something necessarily to lose sleep over. But just know, the person could come to you with some papers and ask you to sign them. And what they're trying to do is to make you look bad, cheat you or swindle you or undermine you in some way. So do be careful. All right, here we go. Formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. It's funny. What's that old saying? Haters gotta hate. And I feel that the Sun card has come out to kind of shine a light on that for you. Yeah, it's an ending and everything looks rosy, but there's someone there, and the Sun has come to shed a little bit of illumination on that for you. So here's your card. And what do you know? If I'm not mistaken, that's the snake. Yes, indeed. Even the ox, healthy and hale, at the bite of a snake may fall and fail. This card warns of an impending pitfall, slander, or a trap that is about to spring. Take care not to be, with your own shortcomings, the one to poison your own life. So it says that two things. This can be someone or it could be you yourself. Okay? Remember I said that. That might be you where your energies are scattered and you're not, concentrating and focusing and using your talent, skills, and abilities in the right way. Take care not to poison your own life with that attitude. So you might need to change it. But it also talks about a trap or a pitfall, someone out to purposely trap you. Okay? So until next time, I hope that message helped, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And until next time, namaste.